The LSU Tigers are officially national champions, number 8 in program history, as they take down the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. The College World Series and effectively the 2025 college baseball season has officially come to an end, and we're here breaking it all down, talking about what went down in Omaha as, again, LSU stands triumphant. Guys, as always, I am Chris Phillips. He is Harrison Fant. This is the Windup SEC Unfiltered bi-weekly college baseball show, the best college baseball show on the internet. As always, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Check us out via podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, you can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. And as always, we are powered by our friends over at FANDUEL. Visit FANDUEL.com/SECU to join today and get started with $250 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. Once again, that's FANDUEL.com/SECU to get $250 in bonus bets today. The LSU Tigers claim national championship number 8 in program history as they take down Coastal Carolina, and the College World Series and the 2025 college baseball season have officially come to an end. We're going to be here putting a pin in everything, recapping, breaking down what went down in the College World Series finals, also talking our time in Omaha, Nebraska together, as well as looking back on a magical 2025 season. Guys, this is the Windup SEC Unfiltered bi-weekly college baseball show, the best college baseball show on the internet. As always, I am Chris Phillips. Joining me once again for the first time in a while, not in person, my good friend Harrison Fant. Harrison, what's going on, man? Appreciate you taking the time. Glad you got home safely. And on that note, I want to start. I know a lot of you out there have been really antsy over the past 24 or 48 hours, obviously waiting on this show, waiting on our reaction. We appreciate your patience because, as you can imagine, getting home from Omaha is not for the faint of heart, but we have done so successfully, and excited now, finally, Harrison, to break it all down and talk about it with you on air.
Yeah, excited to get home safely after a long 2 days for me of travel from Omaha, Nebraska to Atlanta, Georgia. Just an unbelievable season and an unbelievable job that we did. I feel like covering it from January all the way to it's now June 25th, a few days after the College World Series, and just the unparalleled content that we provided and just insight analysts and news and storylines and stats and everything that revolves around the game of college baseball. And I feel like we did a phenomenal job of doing that, and ending it on such a high note with the SEC claiming their 6th straight national championship on a down year for the SEC.
Quote unquote down year.
Yes. Some would call it down year. Only 2 teams make it to Omaha, but was there ever a doubt, Chris? Was there ever a doubt that an SEC team was going to make it to the finals? We didn't really have much doubt, especially with LSU and Arkansas, and just the way that LSU just dominated through the College World Series, reaching the pinnacle of the mountaintop again, their 8th national championship, and how special the number 8 is to the LSU baseball program. And just the way that they did it, I think, was even more fascinating and just incredible. LSU is the mecca, the best, the powerhouse of college baseball. And I don't think there's a debate right now. I don't think you can debate that. It's just it's such a deep tradition of college baseball at LSU, and just, I'm not going to say a dynasty, but it's just a dynasty program, I think, over the past, since 1990, honestly, you can say. And it's just a blessing and a privilege to cover it and cover the game of college baseball, and do so the way we did, 3 live shows on location at the College World Series, the unprecedented just coverage we did of it, and the post-game celebration stuff that we still have coming out that's going to be released later today, and interviews and a lot more coming. So stay tuned.
Yeah, and again, we appreciate you guys' patience because, like we said, we had about a 10.5-hour drive back. Listen, we would have loved to have gotten the.
You did.
Yeah, and then you had 4+ hours back to Atlanta. But the point I was going to make, Harrison, was we would have loved to have gotten the reaction recap show out that morning before we left. But again, if you guys want us live on location and partying with those Cajuns, you got to have some patience because safe to say the next morning. And we had a great time. We had a great time.
I was fine the next morning.
I was fine, but I think we were just ready to get on the road, get back home. And we still didn't get home until almost 2 a.m. Central Time, I should say, back to
Nashville. And I got home yesterday.
And then you got home yesterday on Tuesday. So anyways, a long couple days traveling, but again, really happy to be here. And, Harrison, I think that, whether we tackle this at the front end, the back end, whenever, I do think you make a great point. I know that the sentiment's already been out there, so forgive me for echoing it, but I do agree with you. LSU, and it's the irony of me saying this because they wear the championship golds. They won it in their gold jerseys. LSU's the gold standard of college baseball right now. And I think you could just say, period, they're the gold standard of college baseball.
Into discussion.
When you look over the last 40 years, they've made it to Omaha essentially 50% of the times, and they've won 8 of the 40 championships. Like, they've won almost a quarter of the titles over a 40-year span. When you think about how ridiculous and how outrageous that is, there's a lot of other really good programs, some of them in the SEC, but I don't know that any of them really can stand toe-to-toe or stand equally with this LSU program. Kyle Peterson said it on his broadcast, I think on SportsCenter, they're just built different. It's just the program's just built different. As we dive into, Harrison, obviously what took place, I think that was on display, that level of belief, the way they're just wired differently. You and I both picked LSU. We expected LSU to come up clutch in the big moments, and they did that. And we knew, Harrison, that pitching was going to be the storyline. Cade Anderson, I mean, what more can you say in game one, what he did, the complete game? You win 1-0. All it takes is a Stephen Milam, RBI single in the first inning, and that was enough for you. Monster Milam comes up clutch. And then in game two, I think Anthony Iance's performance might get lost a little bit. He was really, really good, but because Cade Anderson was so good, we're not talking about it quite as much. You have the big 4-run inning where you bust out a couple big knocks, and then what Chase Shores did in relief. I thought that, his emergence, Harrison, over the last few weeks, last couple months, if you will, what he sort of evolved into was kind of a microcosm of this LSU team, guys stepping up and emerging and playing their best baseball. And obviously Chase Shores became a real weapon for them in the back end of the bullpen. They win that game 5-3, and obviously the rest is history, and LSU is national champion. So, on the surface level, great pitching, the 1-2 punch, Cade Anderson. Elite pitching. Like I mentioned, that was the thing that made me feel so good about it going into this one. Your thoughts on what we saw from LSU in those 2 games and what led to them obviously taking the national title home?
Yeah, I'm going to start with a Tanner Reeves quote that he posted. Legends wear purple, champions wear gold. I mean,
drop the mic.
Drop the mic on that caption. I mean, it was on full display for LSU. I mean, the place was painted in purple and gold. It was always a race for second in a jello shot challenge. We knew LSU was going to come into full force throughout the entire College World Series, and it only came more and more and more deeply in a fan base throughout these tournament and towards the College World Series finals. And I mean, it was just a showing of dominance, it felt like, from LSU on the pitching side. I mean, Cade Anderson had the second best pitching outing of the tournament behind Gage Wood, who obviously threw the third no-hitter in College World Series history, which it's just unbelievable how much elite pitching we saw. But to get that in a championship game of Cade Anderson going CG, I mean, I think it's 3 or 4 hits CG in a championship game, unreal. And then Cade Anderson chilling in the dugout after, obviously. And Andy Hines says, all right, I'm up. Now my turn. And he said, transferring to LSU, he told me in an interview after, transferring to LSU changed my life. Told me it changed everything. And for him to go up there and pitch the way he did, and then, you only have to use one bullpen guy. You use, of course, Chase Shores, because who else would you use in Chase Shores' weather except Chase Shores to go close it out? And just an unbelievable, they pitched 18 innings, Chris, and had to use 3 pitchers. 3 pitchers total. Mm-hmm. And yes, they didn't have a ton of offense. They had, the monster mountain single, like you said, in game 1. The RBI single at the beginning of the game in the first inning. But, like, when you have that dominant pitching, you don't have to have as much. Yeah, I mean, they won game 2 5-3 on a 4-run 4th inning off. You could argue one of the best pitchers in college baseball, undefeated, 12-0 record at the time of Jacob Morrison. And, you go up there and you punch him in the mouth, basically. And you do so, and it's like, all right, now you got to face LSU pitching after getting up 5 through 4 innings. And it was just, like you said, and it's something that I've really leaned on through LSU the last couple regular season series and the postseason. They just find a way. They just come up clutch. They had the big hits when they matter most. It was really like especially the postseason, it was really like what Texas was in the regular season, just finding the clutch hits when they mattered and needed them most. That's what LSU did in the postseason. That's what not good, but great teams do in the postseason is they find ways to win. They can beat you multiple ways. LSU can beat you the pitching staff. They can beat you the clutch hitting. They can beat you with extremely clean and incredible defense, making Sports Center top plays. And LSU was able to do all three of those things throughout the entire postseason, and is the reason why they're walking back home, flying back home to Baton Rouge with number 8 under their belt championships now.
Yeah, and actually going to have the celebration in Baton Rouge tonight.
Okay.
At the time of us speaking, obviously it's Wednesday, June 25th. That's going to be happening later today. I think you hammered it, Harrison. The overarching theme. This was a great team. Like really emphasis on team. I think we can get lost sometimes on paper, and it's hard for us to evaluate like the makeup and the characteristics and what it's like in the locker room throughout the regular season. Like it's just we're not on the inside, so it's kind of tough for us to really. There's a lot of teams with great makeup, but LSU's was just different. Like you could just see it. Like you saw that throughout the postseason. You saw that in this series every time. The moment never got too big. I think this was a team that had great belief, always expected to win. You go back to Jay Johnson. I mean, I think this was, and I don't know every team he had at Arizona, but I would probably say this is one of his best coaching jobs of his entire career. And I think Jay Johnson, listen.
Maybe last year, honestly.
Maybe last year getting that team off the mat, but I dropped these head coach rankings before every single season, and I think I had Jay Johnson 3rd going into the 2025 season. Harrison, he ain't going to be 3rd next year.
Who did you have? Who was the top 3? Because you
Sully was number 1. Kevin O'Sullivan was number 1. Tony Vitello was number 2. Yeah. Jay Johnson was number 3. And it's obviously no like dig at Tony or dig at Sully, but Jay Johnson, 2 national championships in 3 years. And I think the way they did it this year, like the way he was able to. He's
the fastest to win 2 national championships at a new program.
Yeah, I mean, in the way he was able to move the chess pieces around, and it just seemed like every time he pushed the buttons, it worked. And I think you even go back to the regular season, some of those midweeks. Like I think he was willing to try some things, throw some stuff at the wall, like putting Bear Jones at third base in a midweek. It backfired. But you kind of have to do those things to learn about your club. And so, down the road, what works, what doesn't. We've done our tinkering. We've done our experimenting. We know who our best 9 are. Like, for example, why do you have the belief in having a Michael Braswell out there, even though he's gone 1 for his last 40, that he's your best available option? Well, you've exhausted your other options, and your team,
and you've seen the defensive plays that he makes.
Right, and yes, you know. But you've learned that about your club. I think Jay does such a good job, and I think it was on full display this year of he uses the analytics obviously so well. He's a new age guy, all the different numbers and everything. But he's also got a baseball feel and a gut feel, and he's able to mesh those two things together. I know we talked about that obviously on the preview, but that was just on full display yet again. For example, like he talked about after game 1, Harrison, I know you and I had kind of a minor mini debate, if you will, in that first game because you thought, hey, you go to the bullpen. I'm like, I think Cade Anderson's coming back out. But that was Jay talking after the game, like he knows his guy. Like they've got the numbers and they got the pitch count, but he also just I think he said in the post game, I know the person. Like I know the human being. So I thought that was, I thought Jay Johnson it was on full display. He's the best coach in college baseball. Like I think Jay Johnson
more
right
than that,
now.
like winning in multiple facets, offense, defense, pitching, you win with an elite head coach too. And he's definitely one of the, if not the best head coaches in college baseball right now. And he's proven that, and just how strategically sound he is and just being a chess game and just how he's always ahead. He's always two steps ahead, 2 moves ahead. And you think about why did, Cade Anderson and Anthony Einstein both pitch in the same game in Hoover? They both pitched a short start. He's like,
strategy.
Because it gave us the flexibility. He told me in person after he said it gave me the flexibility to go either direction in the regional and start whichever one I wanted to.
Yeah.
And it's just like
strategy. Yeah.
Absolute chess master. I mean, he's the professor. He just uses analytics, like you said, and the strategies and that gut feeling, just meshes it all into one and just knows his team. And I said this going through the season especially during the regular season, knowing how they, learned and had a lot of opportunities to grow throughout the non-conference and early conference. So like, he knows his team better than anyone. It's like you can't doubt him. And like, that's the whole point of non-conference for me. Is like know your team, know your guys, know who fits where and how and when and why. And Jay Johnson proved that on full display, capping off with another national championship. His second in 3 years, Chris. Crazy.
And speaking, Harrison, of things that Jay Johnson did well, and I think one of the things he did well was keep his composure, especially when you had the Danny Dickinson. We saw a lot of bad hit-by-pitch calls that the guys were called out on, and Danny Dickinson certainly. Let's talk about a coach that maybe did not keep his composure so well, because that was a massive storyline in game number 2. And I'll say this, too. I want to address this. I feel like a lot of folks maybe are probably tuned in expecting me to take a lot more shots at Coastal Carolina than I'm going to. Harrison, I kind of look at it this way. What's done is done. The point has been made. We had some fun on social media immediately after, but there's really not a whole lot of reason for me to come on here and do a victory lap, because the laps have already been taken. But and I want to address this too, because we haven't talked about this on air. Obviously, again, we talked about it on socials. We talked about it in person. Kevin Schnall tossed from the game in the first inning for arguing balls and strikes. The umpire takes a tumble, which I would agree. You watch the video. He didn't bump him. The guy tripped over his own feet, which is actually comical. And I give Schnall credit. He had a great quote when he said that I shouldn't be held accountable for another man's lack of athleticism. All-time quote in a College World Series, or just in general, really. Funny enough, if you're tuned in, you're probably thinking to yourself that I'm going to be on one side of this when I'm actually on the other. And you know this, Harrison. My vantage point, my immediate reaction with this came from the sort of picking on Coastal Carolina, prodding, making fun of, a little bit of trolling, if you will. We were in the heat of the moment, is what it is. From the baseball perspective, I would agree with what virtually everyone else is saying, and what I know you believe as well. Angel Campos, you cannot toss the head coach there that early.
No field.
Like, there's no composure by either side, really. And I think if you're Schnall, again, you have to control your emotions. You have to be able to understand the situation, walk it back, go back in the dugout. But at the same time, as the umpire, you have to have a feel, understand the situation, understand where he's coming from, and just be grown adults about it and talk it out and settle and not escalate the situation.
And just like kind of calmly ask for an explanation.
Yeah, and it was poorly handled by the umpire. I think tossing a coach in that situation, first inning of a national title game. Again, I think folks might be surprised to hear me say this. I agreed with everybody else's take on the baseball side. I was just picking and poking and having a good time because Coastal's done that with me over the last couple of weeks. So either way, though, from the baseball perspective, in that moment, this isn't a midweek in March, man. This is the national championship. You can't toss a coach in that.
It's an elimination game.
Yeah.
And he would have been out game 3, as well as the pitching coach would have been out game 3 as well. They're both suspended to start the season next year.
Yeah, what, 2 games? 2 more games? That's just be a wild way to start the year.
I mean, granted, they're non-conference, but still.
Right.
It's just the principle.
Yeah, you can't pull that quick of a trigger. You can't do it. It's more of, and listen, because what people may not realize about me, like, I am the first, I think we saw it all season, Harrison. There were too many instances where umpires made it about themselves. And it's like, we didn't come here to watch y'all. There was just too many instances of that. So, yeah, that was chicken shit. That was a little chicken shit for me. Again, I got a good laugh out of it for very obvious reasons. But from the pure baseball perspective, it was chicken shit. I did think so. So you just – I don't know what we got to do, man, to get some better umpires. I don't know what we got to do, but, yeah, it just goes without saying. Any other takeaways, Harrison, from the series? I mean, again, I thought LSU –
I'll say this. It's kind of a minor thing, but I thought it was ridiculous that the NCAA would not play Derek Curiel's walk-up song because of the artist being Kanye West, but it's literally about praising and glorifying God. And it was allowed in the regional. It was allowed in the super regional. Like,
yeah, this is created a huge
went off on it too last night.
Media. Yeah, this
is
created a huge social media stir.
Unbelievable. It's just ridiculous. And we talked to, obviously their family about it, and like, it's just ridiculous. And he said in post-game presser to one of the local news stations, Baton Rouge, I want to be known for playing baseball and glorifying God. Like, the NCAA has the audacity to step in and, prevent that. And it's ridiculous. It was unprofessional, embarrassing, and just absolutely absurdly ridiculous for the NCAA and the College Series to not allow that. And they should be held accountable and should be scrutinized a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, you got to go one way or the other, because I think they didn't play Kate Anderson's walk-up song either because it was Kanye West. So you either got to just play none of it or let it all
Yeah,
play, you know. They're just floating in the middle. I think that's what pisses everybody off, is it's like there's this gray area that
common theme of the NCAA.
Right, and nobody understands it. They don't explain anything. So, and probably we won't get an explanation. But yeah, that was silly. That was obviously that's made a huge stir on social media, and the NCAA was probably it will be a non-story soon, and so they'll get away with it. But that was
I think it was worth noting. But
no, for sure. I mean, I'm saying they're just going to get away with it because it's
because
it's
LSU
the NCAA.
Won.
Because they won. So
yeah.
Harrison, again, just looking and putting a pin in the finals, if you will. I just echoing one more time about this LSU team, because I think, we talked about it a lot. Was it the most talented team on paper in college baseball this season? You could debate it. No doubt you could debate it. I don't know that it was, but it was the best team by far in college baseball. And I think there's just teams that they have that it factor, and I know that's a cliche, but they just do. They rise to the challenge in the biggest moments. And I've talked about this a lot, Harrison. Again, you talk about culture is a buzzword, and it is. But I think when you're at a place like LSU, we saw it when they played Arkansas. I thought that's when it was most evident. When you get to those late game situations, or you get on these stages, and you're at a place that has had so much success, the expectation at LSU obviously is not to get to Omaha, it's to win the whole damn thing. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed. What were they saying after? We're going to go get number 9 next year. I expect us to be back here.
That's
we're
what
going to be
chasing.
chasing. We're going to be chasing. These guys are going to be chasing number 9. That's the expectation. That's the standard. You know what you're getting into. That's why you go to LSU. But it was just such a team that had a knack. All those come from behind victories. All those walk-offs. 1:17 a.m. That walk-off against Arkansas and Omaha was, insanely improbable. They come back and win that ball game. There was just such an extreme level of belief with this group, and it starts with Jay Johnson, Josh Jordan, Nate Yeske, the entire coaching staff, and it leads down to the leaders, guys like Bear Jones and Jake Brown, and you got young guys who pick up the culture very quickly, like Derek Kibriel and Jason Evans, so many other youngsters that, again, you look at their team next year. They're probably going to be right back here, but it's just it's so woven in the fabric of what LSU baseball is. I thought that was one of the biggest things that was on full display. And by the way, you couple all that with this is a really talented team with two, probably 1-1 in game 1, your 1-1 pick, and then a top 10 pick and Anthony Einstein right behind him.
And Jay Johnson said, he goes, Kate Anderson's next pitch should be for the Washington Nationals. He goes, I don't think there's any pitcher closer in college baseball to the show than Kate Anderson. And when you have a team as deep as they do and as clutch as they do with a head coach like Jay Johnson, it's going to be insanely hard to beat them. Think about all the pitchers that didn't pitch, that they have guys throwing 95 plus in the bullpen. All the guys that, have or, didn't come off the bullpen, out of the dugout, off the bench in pinch hitting roles that could be starting other places in the SEC. It is a culture thing at LSU. Tennessee's absolutely building that too, but LSU is the pinnacle of college baseball and the pinnacle of culture in college baseball. And it's on full display, and they have the head coach that's going to continue to drive that and instill that each and every year. I talked to Kramer Robertson about it after the College World Series finals, and he said it's just different at LSU. And obviously, you could say he's biased because he played at LSU, but he should know it just as well as anyone else. Especially being not one of the most talented shortstops at LSU, but playing shortstop and being a captain on that team, and the team that fell to Coastal Carolina. And just, he says he knew what the expectation is, the standard, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There is no, second standard. It is one standard, and that is the expectation. And I'm not saying it's Omaha is the expectation every year, a lot of clubs think and say, and fans think. It's the way that they play the game, the way that they go about their business results in those things, but the execution of how they go about the business, the pedigree of the program and leadership, that is the standard at LSU, and that's what sets the standard around college baseball. And we've seen that. And talk about the growth of college baseball too, Chris. This was the most watched 2-game College World Series finals ever on record for ESPN. 2.5 million viewers on average. I mean, the 2025 College World Series was the 4th most watched College World Series finals on record. Game 2 on ABC had 2.8 million viewers on average. It was the 6th most watched College World Series, like the entire College World Series games ever. It peaked at 3 million. That's just the growth of college baseball, and it's set in headline by programs like LSU. It's so good for the game. And yes, it's like David versus Goliath, but like Coastal Carolina doesn't think they're Goliath, they're David, but the Coastal Carolina, you can argue, I don't even think you can argue, they're pinnacle of mid-major programs. Like, there is not a better mid-major program than Coastal Carolina. We've said it before, Chris. Coastal Carolina is the best program in the state of South Carolina. I mean, and I think it was such a great matchup because of a lot of those things. The storylines, obviously, with LSU and Coastal Carolina in 2016, Jay Johnson at Arizona in 2016. It's only good and great for college baseball and the growth of it, and it's so good for the fans. And yes, people are going to complain that are not LSU fans that like, oh, LSU this, LSU that. No, they are the pinnacle of college baseball, period. Everyone is chasing LSU right now because of the program prestige and reputation and everything that comes along with that.
Yeah, LSU is the gold standard. I don't know how you can even argue it at this point. Like I mentioned, it's not just the past 3 years, which that would probably be enough, 2 titles in 3 years, but over the last 40 years.
And think about 40 years, Chris. Skip Bertman was in attendance, and for him to go, him to see that, and Jay Johnson, he said how special that was, and how much of an honor that was, basically, to do that, and for him to be there to support this program. That's just part of LSU. But I mean, what Skip Bertman did was build LSU into what it is today. And even Skip, he went and talked to Gary Gilmore, or not Gary Gilmore, excuse me. Gary Gilmore was there. He went and talked to Kevin Schnall after the game, and just the respect, too, is such a factor for LSU, just with the program and how they go about their business. And he established that, and is continuing that. I think Jay Johnson's going to continue that as well.
And I would say the only thing to what you said about, I think Omaha is the expectation yearly in Baton Rouge, at least for the fan base. At least for the fan base, yeah. Maybe not a realistic every year, obviously, but hey, 50% clip every other year. I mean, it's possible. They've done it. They've done it for 40 years. By the way, I do want to commend us, give us a pat on the back. We both had LSU in the finals, both had LSU winning it all. So that it felt like the Tigers from the jump, man. It really did. It just. Yeah. Arkansas we knew going in, Harrison. What did we say? The winner of that LSU Arkansas game, first game coming out the gate on that Saturday night, that was going to be the team at minimum in the finals. And that's just exactly how it played out. Like that like those two, this is with all due respect to everybody else in the field, those 2 LSU Arkansas games, those felt like the national championship. Like, those felt like Chris, the title.
I said that there was going to be an if necessary game 7 with Arkansas beating LSU, and then LSU coming back and beating them again, and then going to the finals, which I think is great for LSU. They didn't have to play the extra game and use Anthony Ianson, and how that structures the strategies and just the kind of intricacies of how they formulate that, and Jay Johnson goes about that. But like, Arkansas should have won that game. And not to dive too much into that, but like, several opportunities errors that they made, lost in that game. And that's another thing that LSU took advantage of. Not just Arkansas gave that game away, LSU took advantage of. And so that's just what they do in those big moments. And they're so calm, cool, and collected and composed, and just such a slow heartbeat of a team that they are able to take advantage of those moments. And so that was the biggest thing, because we both said from the second half of the season on, Arkansas is the most complete team in college baseball. That doesn't mean they're going to win it all, but it probably means they're going to be close to the finals. And we had them both close to the finals, if not in the finals. I mean, going into the NCAA Field of 64 tournament, I had Arkansas in the finals, winning their first championship over UNC. UNC absolutely blew their chance there. They should have been, because they would have been in the top bracket. They probably would have been the favorite for that bracket. But I had LSU winning the regular season. That pans out, how it did, winning, I think, third in the conference in the regular season. But like, goes to prove like how good of a team they are down the stretch of the season and into the postseason, and carrying that momentum on, because we saw Texas fall off after the Jared Spencer injury and after the A&M series. It kind of felt like that was their Super Bowl in a sense, or College World Series, I guess you can say, more relating. But it's just LSU kept ascending, and they went and proved that, and came up clutch when they needed it most. And you got a head coach like Jay Johnson, one of the the professor of college baseball, I'm calling him. I mean, the chess man.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to hear any Ed Orgeron or Les Miles comparisons anytime soon to Jay Johnson. And we sure have come a long way from those midweek losses to Omaha and Northwestern State when they got run ruled. When Jay Johnson got fired, I think 4 or 5 different times on Twitter by some of the LSU fan base.
Hottest take.
He gets the last laugh. Obviously, Harrison. Yeah, go ahead.
Remember, even though I reposted the article about Jay Johnson isn't a home run hire.
Yeah, that was that made the freezing cold takes for sure.
Even the Omaha Heat couldn't cool that one off or couldn't heat that up.
No, not at all. You were talking, Harrison, the top bracket. So that being said, let's just I don't know if we even have enough time to – and you guys will see the final vlog drop tonight, by the way. The championship weekend vlog will be the third of such vlogs that came out of Omaha, which they were all electric. But I was going to say, Harrison, I don't know if we – have enough time, if there's enough time in the day to really even encapsulate the entire Omaha trip for us, the College World Series experience. Obviously, it was just unlike anything we've ever done. It was so much different. Our first year was great, but it was so much different. You mentioned the 3 live on location shows, plus we had a 4th live on location show at Dat Bingle Bus, previewing and predicting the national championship. I mean, once again,
40-mile-an-hour winds.
And yeah, Jesus Christ, that was in a wind tunnel essentially. I do want to talk about the College World Series, like the baseball aspect, Harrison. I know so much of it we've already hammered, so we don't have to, we don't have to spend a ton of time. But I do want to say thank you to Omaha Baseball Village, Chinook Seedery, USA Baseball, Rocco's, Blatt, everybody at that Bingle Bus. I mean, there's so many people we could spend, like I said, the entire show thanking. And thanks to all the fans. Thank you to LSU, all the parents, the players. Those affiliated with LSU, those affiliated with Arkansas that we ran into.
Absolutely.
All the great coastal folks, believe it or not, that I'm saying that I ran into and chatted with at Rocco's. And
I don't think I talked to any of them. I didn't see
I had great conversations with the coastal county folks, believe it or not, which, again, proves that Twitter isn't a real place. But, Harrison, it was even
after getting kicked out of Rocco's, apparently.
Yeah, we had that happen, right? That was part of the journey.
You had that happen, not we.
Yeah, I had that happen. Shout out to the old Rosenblatt. What's the place across the street? Pivs, I think.
Pivs, Stadium View.
Pivs. Stadium View. Shout out to Piv. Stadium View, the free beer that we got. We appreciate that. It was an awesome spot. Must visit.
History spot of college baseball, and just the stories he has and just the history to go along with it, with the merch and everything on display there. If you haven't been,
Harrison's still dreaming about that 1994 Georgia Tech national champion T-shirt that didn't happen. That's in display at Stadium View, by the way. Harrison, I'm still dreaming about that 2008 Georgia national champions T-shirt that I should have bought just to wear. Funny, just as a funny thing, because they didn't win it that year, obviously. There's so much to talk about, but I'll say this, Harrison. I will say this. I'll be slightly critical about the College World Series for one moment. The only thing I kind of wish we would have had like a powerhouse team in bracket 1. That's the only, like, if I could change anything, like
a powerhouse fan base.
I do wish like North Carolina would have made it. Like, this is with all due respect to Coastal, Arizona, Oregon State, Louisville, but like for me coming in, and baseball's crazy, and obviously the postseason was crazy, it always felt like it was going to be LSU or Arkansas, and it just, because it never really felt like there was. And maybe I'm wrong. Like, Oregon State was really good. Don't get me wrong. Like, Louisville made a great run. Arizona beat that UNC team. But, like, I think we could – and it's just the way it worked out. It is what it is. But I think we could have used, like, one more big brand, especially in bracket 1. That's me nitpicking. That's me nitpicking, right? Like, I would have obviously loved another SEC team or two in there. But even, like, again, like North Carolina or somebody else. Again, it was – I think one of the reasons the numbers are so high is because obviously we have teams from coast to coast, and I loved that, and that was awesome. But if I'm being super nitpicky, that's probably like the one thing I'd say. Like, I wish we'd have had one more like really, really big brand
fan base.
And fan base in the College World Series. But
like Florida State would have been cool too, even.
Like, dude, nobody else even gets to 10,000 Jello shots. How does that happen?
It was always a race for second.
I know, but you don't even get like nobody was even close.
Arkansas didn't even get close.
Well, yeah. Well, they were out so quickly. I think that probably hurt them as well. But yeah, I mean,
Murray State was out quicker, and they had almost as many as Arkansas.
I will say though, this was a great College World Series. Dude, we had a no-hitter. We had I had that Rocco's thing happen, which was an electric start.
But Chris, it's hard to compare to last year first round because we had 3 walk-offs in a row to start the College World Series.
That was crazy.
That was
crazy,
insane. That was crazy. Unreal.
Yeah,
so
you can't. But we had a lot of close games in this one.
We did.
A lot of close games.
We only had 1 blowout.
Yeah, tons of close. I mean, the one blowout was what?
And it was the one blowout that the day after Chris said we haven't had any blowouts yet. They're all been close.
I wasn't the only one saying that.
Yeah, you were.
But yeah, you look at the scores 4-1, 3-0, 6-4. I mean, you did have 8-3 on day one. Louisville beating Arizona, or excuse me, that was elimination bracket. Louisville beating Arizona to knock them out.
That was a pull away game. They pulled away late.
Yeah, they did. That game was close throughout.
7-6,
4-3, 7-4, 1-0. I mean, you had so many close results. So, all in all, it was a great College World Series. But it really did feel like, I thought, Harrison, from the jump, that it was LSU or Arkansas. And the moment LSU won that game on Saturday night, you felt pretty good about the Tigers. Yeah, I mean, you felt really good about the Tigers. The way it set up for their pitching too. I mean, and I think what we learned, Harrison, and this is it takes more than this. Don't get me wrong. You've got the best head coach in the country in Jay Johnson. You had a really, really good lineup. It wasn't the best lineup, I think, in college baseball, but a really solid, dangerous 1-9. But Harrison, if you've got 2 studs in your 1-2, you got a really good chance, man. I mean, it's just going to be hard to beat you. And you need those heroic pitching performances to win it all. And LSU got that.
Vanderbilt had a stud 1-2 punch too. They had a 1-2-3 punch.
You need more. I'm not saying you don't need more. I'm not saying that, but if that's your foundation.
Thompson, Cody Barker, Connor Fennell.
You need. I'm not saying you don't need more. Vandy couldn't hit. The bats disappeared when they needed them most. And that's the thing with LSU. They stepped up at every turn. But, yeah, I mean, it was just a special team, man. And it was a special College World Series. And it was special for us as well. I mean, I can't say thank you enough to all the folks in Omaha. The people who put on the event, by the way, shout out to everybody affiliated with the College World Series. Thank you for the cookie and the beef jerky. In our 75th anniversary package they gave to the media.
The 75th anniversary package was cool to get that as members of media. And, we got a baseball with the 75th anniversary logo on it. And then I think it was a pint glass technically with, it laser engraved on there too. Super cool. So super appreciative of that. And the hospitality there, the food, obviously.
Yeah. And everybody around Omaha, man, just it's such I tell everybody, but it's such a cool event, Harrison. Again, it's really it's hard to sit here and really put it into words how special an event that is. And
you got the Omaha Baseball Village too, which I thought is such a cool experience. Granted, I thought the merch was average this year. I mean, I thought it was a little bit better last year, but I thought it was average this year. From the officially licensed side to the third-party vendor side, but I think they can do a little bit better for sure. But super cool experience walking through there and just connecting with fans and just you see every fan base. I mean, walking through there, you see players in there. Super cool.
Yeah, you've got to and I think you've got a really cool mix of these diehard fan bases, but also people just in the local community that love college baseball. I mean, we saw Nebraska fans. I talked to an Iowa State guy, people that
Iowa State does not have a baseball team though, Chris.
They don't have a baseball team.
I saw multiple A&M fans there.
Yeah, they're all folks from all walks of life that just love baseball. And
we saw a Virginia Tech fan there.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, I don't know how long, Harrison, it will take for going to the College World Series to get old for me. And this was again, year one for me all over again because I didn't stay for the finals last year. So staying to the very end, being there for the full, essentially 13 days, 12 or 13 days.
Yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart, especially when you're partying with the folks we were partying with on a daily basis, but it is well worth it. It's a memory that I'll never forget. I'm so glad that obviously doing what we do, I was able to document it, and that's memories that we'll have forever. And just looking back, I mean, that's the thing, man. We can talk about all the games and the stats, and those things are all great, but the people are what make the event so special, especially the people we hung out with. It was just unreal. It'll probably never be duplicated. I mean, that in that setting, that scenario, that exact group, it won't, because there will be guys that aren't on that team anymore, that aren't there next year. Like,
Families,
that
yeah.
was such a special 2 weeks. That was such a special 2
And
weeks.
Chris, I mean, it was such a long 2 weeks, but it felt like the days flew by. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
it was like 2 days, and it felt like it was like 4 days later, and then it was like 2 days, and it was like 4 days later. But like the SEC had off days on the field, but we never had an off day. That's for sure. We got to go to the zoo. Apparently,
I
the
took
number
one off
one
day.
zoo in America.
Yeah,
Apparently, it didn't feel
supposedly.
like that, but it was a really cool zoo. I did get to see a lion, a cheetah. I saw a gorilla, which I still think takes 100 men for sure. I saw a tiger. I felt like that was a good omen too for LSU. The
Saw a
tiger,
cheetah?
as soon as we walked over there, came out of the shade and walked up to us. I was
Yeah.
like, this can only mean good things
Good
for
omen.
LSU. And clearly it did.
Yeah, Omaha Zoo was fun. Now that it's over, Harrison, I can say this on air. I don't know that I probably would have wanted to before, just because you didn't want to like jinx anything or whatever. But it's funny because, and I think everybody in the comments, everybody listening to us probably would have agreed. And I heard a lot of people say, man, that game between LSU and Arkansas, that feels like it's for the national championship. Well, folks, I can tell you this. After that game on Wednesday, we partied like it was for the national championship. Like, it really had the feel amongst those there that it was for it all. Harrison, we partied harder after that game than we did after they actually won the damn thing. I mean, I would say so. I would say that we did.
I would say longer.
Longer, yeah, yes, you're right. Longer. We partied about just as hard, but for longer at the bus after the game Wednesday, which, again, it's just kind of funny because, like, at the end of the day, that game probably really was for the national
And I think just
title.
the dramatics of it and just the
adrenaline.
Like this,
the adrenaline was pumping. Yeah.
I mean,
the adrenaline rush was really pumping. So it was just kind of funny. I was thinking about, like, man, that game really did have the feel.
Chris, I mean, the thing is, like, you got to look at the other side of it too. It's like the heartbreak of the College World Series too. This is guys' last time playing the game. This is their season's ending in Omaha, that close to, the pinnacle and reaching and winning the College World Series. But you made it the College World Series, and just how special that is. And just, it sucks to see teams' seasons in, but like you get to see how special and how close these guys are, and just how much time they spend together, the relationships, the memories, and talking to them about that. And beyond that, I mean, the guys sitting in the dugout talking, hanging out after, just soaking in every last minute of it that they can, and then going out to the field and standing where they stood one last time, where they played their position, or collecting some dirt, which a lot of guys saw in every single team. Guys out there collecting dirt, and just a memory that they'll hold on to forever. Dirt from Omaha, where they played in the College World Series, and how special and memorable that is. I mean, how can you not be romantic about baseball, Chris?
And heck, we didn't play, and we did that. So, I mean, you got to. It was a keepsake, obviously, something that we'll cherish.
I still need to get mine back from you.
Yeah, I was about to say, I've actually got your jar of dirt at the place. I can mail it to you from Nashville. I've also got your rosin bag. I don't know if you realize that. You left that in the car,
yeah, I know.
I got to send you a care package. No, it was a good time. You can't tell. We had a blast. I mean, it was, you guys obviously saw it documented. I mean, it was just incredible.
Couldn't get a baseball this year, but got a rosin bag.
Yeah, got a rosin bag with the SEC logo on it. So good stuff. Harrison, I want to put a pin. Obviously, this is, for those that don't realize, barring any special circumstance, which there could be one, any breaking news, anything just extra we want to do, this is going to be our final windup, believe it or not, of the 2025 college baseball season. I mean, essentially, even if we do another windup, it's an off-season episode, which could be a thing, but the final one actually talking the 2025 season. So I want to make sure we're able to get that in uninterrupted. So before we do, I do want to tell you about our friends over at FanDuel, because as always, we are brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. The wait is over. Baseball season's finally here. You can start the season strong on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, FanDuel is celebrating the return of baseball by giving new customers $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. FanDuel's got so many ways for you to get on the action, from hits to steals to home runs. They got a lineup filled with all your favorite bets, or if pitching's more your thing, FanDuel's got a deep bullpen of bets, from strikeouts to shutout innings. So when you place your first bet, it can be on almost anything, and if it hits, you'll get $250 in bonus bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/SECU to join today. That's FanDuel.com/SECU. Make every moment more. FanDuel, official partners of Major League Baseball and SEC Unfiltered. And guys, also, let me just throw this in there. College football season's around the corner now. I mean, it's essentially football time. You can get all of your bets placed with our friends at FanDuel. We'll have some football-specific ad reads coming up for you very, very soon. We want to make sure you guys know that as well.
I want to mention something, Chris, too, that
yeah, go ahead.
We almost forgot that Mac brought up in the comments. Vahiva Aloy winning the Golden Spikes. I mean,
yes.
As we kind of expected with the finalists of Vahiva Aloy from Arkansas, Liam Doyle from Tennessee, and Alex Odes from Florida State. And just how special and how incredible that is and how hard it is to win that award. And just that is the pinnacle of an individual player award in the amateur game of baseball.
Yeah.
Because technically a JUCO player can win it. A high school player can win it. But it's obviously 9 times out of 10 a college player. Just how special of a season he had to be able to win that award. And, such a centerpiece and core piece of Arkansas's team that the reason why, they got to Omaha in a big way, you can absolutely say. And the timing, obviously, he wished he was playing and getting that award before the game that he's playing in. But, they announced it in kind of an odd way, just like very quickly. And then, all right, like it was. I thought
you weren't the only one complaining about it.
Everyone said that. It was different than last year. And then
weird.
they go to a quick, interviews outside, like underneath the stadium, and then presser, and then hang out. It was just kind of really oddly done. But, I mean, he won the award. It was 2 days after they lost to LSU. It was the day of 5:45 Central Time when the game 1 of the championship started at 6 p.m. Central Time that day. So on the field in front of the dugout there, the third base dugout right behind home plate there, and getting to witness that in person was a super cool experience. And even though it was really brief, it was still cool to see that. But yeah, just I definitely didn't want us to go without mentioning that. So thank you, Mac, for the reminder.
Yeah, no, Mac, appreciate it. Yeah, Vahiva Aloy, very well deserving. It's crazy how things played out for him in Omaha. We've already again talked about it. Everything that happened in that LSU Arkansas game, just how it played out was nuts. But well deserving in the Golden Spikes. He had an incredible year. Was one of the biggest reasons, if not the biggest reason, Arkansas made it all the way to Omaha where they did. Bitter ending this season, but very, very well deserving winner of the Golden Spikes. D3M Tigers always with us in the super chats. We appreciate you, Harrison. You're way too early. Top 3 SEC teams for 2026. And again, Harrison, I don't know that there's really a right answer because let's face it.
There always is a right answer.
We don't even really know the rosters. I'm just saying we don't know the rosters. My top 3, I'll go LSU.
I'm ready.
LSU, Florida, and Texas. I don't know. I don't really know. I love what Florida's done in the portal. LSU's going to be back. My third one's where I struggle, but either Texas or Tennessee is probably number 3 for me.
I'm going LSU, Texas, Tennessee.
Okay.
And I like the Florida one too. I think that's a really good pick as well. D3M Tigers, I'll give you one outside the SEC, UCLA. I mean, I'd say they're all over when majority of their team is sophomores this year. So they're going to be back and I think even better.
Well, UCLA's not in the SEC, but I get what
I said I'd give you one outside.
One outside. Okay, one outside. Okay.
I know that, Chris.
Okay. All right.
Unless they want to expand again, which they might.
No, let's not. We don't need UCLA. We're good. We're good on that. Yeah, no, it's going to be fun. We're also going to be dropping our way too early Omaha 8s.
Because everyone seems to love this.
Because everybody needs a way too early Omaha 8.
How many, Chris? I think we both got 2 right last year.
Which isn't bad. I
think you had 1. I had 2.
It's like, do you really get more right in the Omaha 8 that we drop like right before the season than you do dropping it right now?
Yes,
you should, but I don't. It's so hard to pick them.
My goal, Chris, for way too early Omaha 8 that we do in the summer. My goal is to get 2 minimum, like 2 or more. Preseason, like January 1, my goal is 4. You can get half the field.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, one of my questions for way too early storyline, my question was kind of like the question we had after 2024. Was that the new norm, or was that an anomaly? Like, are we going to get SEC, ACC, and they just run the sport? So now I'm asking the question going into 2026. Is the mid-major kind of back? Like, are we going to get more Murray States and Coastals and West Coast? I just went off of what I saw in 2024, man. Like, I wasn't upset that the Omaha 8 that we got. I would have liked more SEC teams, obviously, but like, I just wonder, Is there going to be a Murray State next year? Is Coastal going to be back, or is there going to be another version of Coastal, or do we go back,
Can
Harrison,
ECU ever make it to Omaha?
Or do we go back to it feeling like it's top heavy? I will be, because there's going to be obviously some powerhouse programs there. We know that the SEC is going to get at minimum 2. God, I said last year we get at minimum 3, but at minimum 2.
You said we might get 5 this year.
Thought we might get 5 at one point. Like we might get 5, but didn't work out.
Chris, after all that, you still got more in the SEC than the ACC,
and you still won the national championship. So,
no, but Chris, I think it's to answer that. I think that's the beauty of college baseball. Anyone can beat anyone.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to have, the Southern Cal dynasty like they did in the 60s. Things like that happen. You're going to have the Cal State Fullertons, the Fresno States, Holy Cross won one back in the 1930s.
Rice.
The Zoo won one back in the 1930s. I mean, things like that, obviously different age in day and game with NIL and everything too, but that's the pedigree of college baseball, is that anyone can make it. Anyone, everyone, it's over 300 teams have a chance to make it to Omaha at start the season. Everyone has the anticipation, but only 8 can make it, and it could be anyone. No one picked Murray State to make it going into the postseason. I said it was the deepest regional and the best 4 seed in college baseball in the postseason, and they proved me right in that capacity. But it's going to be, I think, one of those just swings back and forth that is never going to be kind of a thing. It's going to be like a seesaw kind of.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I mean, listen, college baseball.
I think that's great for the game of college baseball.
It's unpredictable. I mean, that's why we love it. That's why we love
Golden
it.
Spikes, Chris. Golden Spikes Trophy presented by Chinook Seedery.
Yeah, our guys over at Chinook Seedery, definitely, they deserve the love, deserve the credit. Golden Spikes, the presenting sponsor, Chinook Seedery. Good stuff. Harrison, as we put a pin in it, look back on the 2025 college baseball season. How do you do that in just such a short amount of time? I'll let you start. Just thoughts on the 2025 season as a whole. I mean, again, that's such a broad question, but I mean, I'll just say this season.
I'll let you start. I'll say this.
No, I'm just going to set it up. There's so much great that happened on the field. I think also when you factor in what happened with us, a lot of different angles you can look at it, but your thoughts on the 2025 college baseball season, what you'll most remember it by?
That's a little 2 different questions.
See, I was trying to help you out a little bit. It's a hard question.
That's just 2 different things. I'd say just the storylines and moments, because I think they go hand in hand. I honestly do. I mean, the storylines from, the coaching changes, the transfer portals, the rivalries, the history, the pedigrees of college baseball, the, defending national champions, the upsets, everything that goes around the storylines and just the walk-off moments, the unbelievable performances, both hitting and pitching, and the web gyms that we see. Pair that with the fan experience and what truly makes college baseball what it is. That's what I'm going to remember most about the season. Just there's moments and little things, but those fade over time for the most part. But it's just the people you meet that you get to do it with or get to watch it with, whether it's people for years, you meet this season, or a random fan you sit next to. I mean, I've experienced that plenty of times going to games, either by myself or just meeting people that I'm wandering around, just run into, talking to, and hear about their experience, and especially in the College World Series. But at the end of the day, obviously, reaching the mountaintop and doing that again for LSU and just the season that they had, and getting to know the team very well and a lot of the families really well, and just the embrace and open arms that we got in hospitality wise from the LSU fans was super special, and I'll remember that forever. And the SEC winning another national championship. I mean, it's just, to answer that, I'm throwing all of that in the bucket. All of that in the bucket, Chris.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, again, it's hard to you can't summarize an entire season with one word. I think when I think about the 2025 season, Harrison, everybody talks about, and maybe at times it gets a little corny or cliche, but I love it. I actually love it, because when you compare it to college football and college basketball and where they're at, and the way that I feel personally about the off season and some of the conversations that are happening around those sports, what's the theme of college baseball? Grow the game. I think 2025 will be remembered as a year. The game has been growing year after year. I think 2025 was a huge, huge shot in the arm, and we saw exponential growth of the game of college baseball. Because I'll be honest with you, Harrison, and this is from talking to fans, and I felt this as well, and I think you and I have had these conversations. I think we had these conversations with some folks in Omaha. because of what's happening in college football and some in college basketball. And yes, it's present in college baseball, but college baseball feels like kind of the last bit of purity in college sports. Like there's something about it that's different, that it doesn't feel quite as, and I say this as somebody that loves college football. I can't wait to talk about it starting really in the next couple of days and getting after it. But like, college football's kind of got this slimy feeling right now. College basketball, some of that too. College baseball still, for whatever reasons, kind of has this purity. I know what it really has. It has a community unlike any other sport. I've mentioned this many times about college baseball in previous years. The community's smaller, Harrison, but I could argue it's more passionate. Like you got a lot of people that casually watch other sports, and that's great. And you want those casual fans to watch baseball too. But the baseball community is like diehard. Like you are not watching a Tuesday night midweek if you don't love this shit. Like if you don't
midweek madness, sickos.
Like you really truly sickos. Like you are truly a diehard of all diehards. And like, you know, it hit different for us this year. And I mean, that's when I look back at 2025, so many great players, so many great stories. You know, the mid-majors proving me wrong and getting to Omaha, and that was great to see, and having a random Omaha 8 only for the SEC to still hoist the trophy. All the stuff that happened on the field was awesome. Getting to go to some venues I had never been to.
Can't wait for that next season.
Yeah, going to Vandy, going to Alex Box, going to Alabama. You know, there were some others as well. But, you know, I will think about, Harrison, selfishly, what we did this season. I mean – last year starting out, you know, man, I mean, Harrison, and thank God for Harrison's patience, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do, how I wanted to attack it. Do we do a weekly show? Do we do a show twice a week? Do we just do segments? How do we break this thing up? What is the real like audience and desire for baseball content? And I think we saw, Harrison, slowly but surely throughout last year, the numbers were okay, and then we got to postseason. They really took off, and we really built a lot of following with our college baseball community.
Yeah, once the Final Four is over, which I wish that the baseball consumption of content and fans and embrace happened once conference play started at least. But
that's the thing, though. This season it did. Like, this season it really, from the jump, and I can't say thank you enough to all of you out there that tuned into the Windup, because
absolutely,
we were talking about this on the way home in the car. Maybe Harrison had more confidence in me than me. Shame on me. I expected the season to go well. I thought the numbers would do well. I did. You guys exceeded all my expectations. Like I really wasn't sure still. Hey, like kept the expectations pretty conservative in non-conference, and, you know, even just in conference play, like you mentioned, with competing against basketball, competing against March Madness. Obviously, I expected once we got to like May for things to really pick up. But like, dude, what the show did from the jump. Friday Night Spikes. I mean, it's literally, you know, it's Friday, February the 14th, right? It was Valentine's Day night. I'm in Arlington, Texas by myself on Friday Night Spikes. There's over 1,000 people tuned in for non-conference baseball to just chop it up, shoot the shit. The community we built within the Windup this season, to me, Harrison, was the most special part of this college baseball season. And I know that's kind of a selfish viewpoint from our perspectives, but that's what we're here doing, obviously. That was the most special part. I mean, it was just, you guys, like, we love college baseball, but y'all made it really fun and exciting to show up here every Monday and Thursday and Friday night and talk about this thing and break it down and take your questions and live and die with the results every week and live and die with the midweek results. Like, it was a really, really special season, and one that I will never, ever forget because of the people who made it so special, whether it was in person, in the show, connections we made throughout the season. It was an incredible season. Like, I really, truly just can't say thank you enough. I don't have the words to express the gratitude at the levels at which I want to. So thank you all so much. It really means the world. Yeah, it was just, I mean, it was the most fun season of college baseball in my entire life.
Yeah.
Really, truly.
And I'm going to say that too. Like, thank you for everyone that's, you know, tuned into us, engaged with us, followed us along, and, you know, embraced us and taken something away from the content that we put out, the coverage of college baseball and trusting us to do so, and trusting, our knowledge and just experience of college baseball and coverage of it, because that means the world for sure.
Yeah. And like you said, Mac in the comments, just getting started. Gig'em Bart somehow wandered in here late as well.
Gig'em Bart, we saw 2 A&M fans in the College World Series.
I do have to read this comment, our guy Chinook. Shout out to Jake McKeever, the reason for Friday Night Spikes and basically being on the IL. Yeah, that was certainly irony not lost upon us. Again, Gig'em Bart in the chat saying what's up. Our friend Mac. Yeah, just getting started. I mean, this is just the beginning. And I will say this, like, we're saying goodbye from the standpoint of the 2025 season is obviously over. The windup on its normal schedule, Monday, Thursday, which I'm going to feel weird, Harrison, admittedly, next week, going into next week, and like there not being a Monday windup to do, there not being a Thursday windup, heck, there not being a Friday Night Spikes. But like the video I posted, it breaks your heart. It's built to break your heart just when you need it most. The season ends, the offseason begins, the countdown to 2026 is on. But we're going to be pushing some college baseball content in the offseason. I know Harrison's going to be doing some interviews and different stuff like that. There is stuff to talk about. Obviously, we understand the football season's upon us. Football is king. But, we know you guys are out there, still love college baseball. And, in the back of our minds as well, we're, the countdown to 2026 is officially on for us all. So, hey, fall ball will be here before you know it. So, in the meantime, it's portal commitments and recruiting and
coaching changes.
Yeah, Cape Cod, following guys over the summer leagues and,
Coastal Plain, Northwoods, yeah.
Celebrations, parades, whatever. So, following guys in the big leagues.
Night parade.
Following guys in the big leagues. So, no, it's –
yeah, I mean, Christian Moore balling out so far in his. Jack Halloween balling out so far. I mean, you got guys and how fast that they're rising through the rankings of the minor league systems, and it proves why playing the SEC, prepares you for that.
Yeah. And again, I would say, guys, we're going to continue to ascend and excel, and we'll have even bigger, grander plans next year, more travel with myself and Harrison. We didn't get that, obviously, throughout the regular season, but that's what your support does for us. That's what your support, the opportunities it provides, whether you're somebody who tuned in live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter every week, or you tuned in after the fact and you're hearing the sound of my voice right now via podcast or wherever you're watching the show. That's the opportunities you provide us, is on a year in, year out basis. We continue to elevate and scale and grow and do bigger and better things. Even going back to last year, Harrison, like, we didn't travel to any baseball series, you or I. I didn't stay in Omaha for 2 weeks. So
we went to the regional and super regionals at Clemson.
Yeah. It was a local one, but we did go. You are correct. But there will be more opportunities, more fun stuff to do, more. And yes, by the way, somebody asked, the travels are going to continue through the football season for yours truly. I will be back in Baton Rouge, all you LSU folks out there. Don't worry, we will be there. So more details on that to come. But Harrison, I want to say thank you to you as well, my friend, for you showing up each and every single week, bringing your best. I wanted to say on air to all those watching, or so that all those watching can hear, really proud of you, your growth, your progression. You were good last year. I thought you took a major step forward this year just with the content, the coming into your own, continuing to find your voice, getting more and more comfortable with each passing show. And again, I just want to say thank you just for your effort. I know you gave it 110% every single time, all the research, the stats, even though we were late a couple times, which sometimes blame Harrison, sometimes blame me. It is what it is. No, you did a great job this year. Obviously, I told you that in Omaha, and it culminated in Omaha, all the on-field interviews, coach interviews, all the stuff you were doing. So really proud of you, my friend. And I can't say thank you enough, because the wind-up wouldn't exist if it was just me solo or somebody else. So I appreciate
the name wouldn't exist without me.
The name wouldn't exist. Yeah, that's a very good
thank
point.
you. There's the cap tip there to you, and for the hat, for sure. Got to rep the brand for sure. And I appreciate that. And just something, I really tried to do and develop was provide a lot of insight, whether it was storyline, analytical, breaking down, recapping performances, things like that, in a digestible format and a concise format that provides a lot of value, not just, reading an article or recap about something somewhere else, but like providing a lot of, insight, but with some personality too, and a little bit of flair. And then obviously I think learning this season, as I did some color analyst in another conference, really helped me grow in that regard as well. And I think that's something that, I'm going to take away from this season too, is just kind of growing in all facets of that. And something I know we're going to continue to grow here at SEC Unfiltered with the Windup specifically and the coverage we do. And it would be the same like without you and obviously without the fans and everyone that interacts with us and trusts us and connects and engages with us. So it's all full circle for sure. And not just one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, it sounds cliche, but we ask these teams to do it, Harrison. We can only do the same, get 1% better every day and keep fighting and
Live by
get to
that.
the end of the season. And here we are. So it was a hell of a season. We really appreciate y'all. We do have a super chat here from Kirk. Kirk, appreciate you. $5 super chat. Thank y'all for what y'all do. 234 days. But who's counting? 234 days. Yeah. 234 days till opening day. It'll be here before you know it, and we absolutely cannot wait. Harrison, before we get out of here, we'll jump into a few comments. Gig and Bart, my top 2 Friday Night Spikes episodes. The first one when Texas lost and the chat went electric. And I think that was opening night, by the way, when they lost to Louisville in the walk-off. And sadly, when we squandered a lead in the ninth to Missouri, that chat was absurd as well. So much fun. That was a crazy night. That was a crazy, crazy night.
Yeah.
Selfishly for me, one of my top Friday Night Spikes moments, many of you may not remember it, but the night that I tried a gummy for the first time and was literally on.
I didn't even know until after.
Yeah, I was literally on the moon. Thank God Harrison and Jake were both in the chat to salvage that Friday Night Spikes. Also, all the other Friday Night Spikes with Harrison eating, those were electric. Those were great.
I was coming back from calling Georgia Tech games. Like I had to eat. I was there since like 4 o'clock.
All the ones Harrison eating, those were fun. Yeah. Yeah. We had a lot of good times on Friday Night Spikes. A lot of good times.
A lot of funny interactions and engagement too. I got one here for you. Go Tigers, GEAUX, Kings of college baseball. Absolutely.
They are gold standard. Gold standard.
Number 8's great. So
number 8 is great.
Funny.
By the way, I wanted to highlight this comment.
Hey, February can't get here quick enough. Spencer Scott, you're right.
Yeah.
We're blinking college football being November, and then it'll be February.
I wanted to highlight Sven, who is in Germany. Sir, thank you, sir. In Germany, tuned in. How about that? I watched State until 6 a.m. over here in Germany.
That's
really
awesome.
Good stuff. Carl Dunn, he was watching. Oh, there you go.
It was always LSU. It was always LSU.
It was always Tigers in 2. It was always
Tigers in 2.
Hey, listen, Harrison, all it takes is one, because I had incorrect predictions throughout the postseason, no doubt. But after LSU won game 2 and I'm leaving the stadium, the amount of LSU people I had say, you called it, ball knower. Like all it takes.
Hey, you got the one that matters most.
Got the one that matters most.
Only one. I mean, Chris, fans are saying you should convert to an LSU fan.
I'm not even going to say it.
I mean,
I'm essentially being labeled an LSU fan now. So,
Chris, is it time to update the box now? According to Jake, it is, but
box
has its charm, and I can't wait to get.
They're going to update the box just so people stop talking about it.
They've already updated the wall in the trophy room with 2025 on that. They did that less than 24 hours after winning it all.
They're going to get a new billboard as well.
Oh,
That'd be cool. The custom design billboard.
College World Series, you're going to get another scoreboard.
That's true.
That's true.
Everybody's upgrading.
I don't know if that'll be ready next season or not, but
our friend Carl Dunn, he was locked into the midweek games. Love that. Can't wait for the 2026 midweek. Can't love that.
Yeah.
He mentions February 13th, opening day for the 2026 season. So, D3M, thank you guys for your grind this season. The coverage top notch. Can't wait for next year. We appreciate you, D3M. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
really appreciate
it. D3M for sure. And Chinook, to close out the college baseball season with no football helmet.
Dude, we're on the road again. We're on the road again. I'm in the beautiful state of Florida, so there is no helmet.
Oh, you're down there with Sully again, aren't you?
I'm down here with Sully down in Florida, man. Sunny Florida. So no, I'm not quite where Kevin O'Sullivan is, but not that far either. So
not that far, which means I don't know. Maybe
we're doing some cruiting. We're doing some cruiting down here.
Hey, ABC always be cruiting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's what just the stories like this, the stories, the interactions, the engagements, the comments. That's what really is a lot of things that we remember as well. And appreciate so much of everyone that tunes in and chops it up. It's like especially Gig and Bart with how miserable his season was and how committed he was.
Yeah, shout out to the Aggies that kept tuning in week after week.
Yeah,
they really deserve
and commenting every week in Gig and Bart.
Yes, fighting with Texas fans, even though there was no fight to be had, really. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just shout out to him. And our guy, Giggenbart, the football trash talk has already begun. Says Chris going to witness history. Aggies winning in Death Valley for the first time since 1994. So yeah.
Bookmark
Joy
that
also
one.
mentions, hope we never update the box just so Jake can keep complaining. Yeah. I mean,
the
gotta have
fact that
something.
he said Charles Schwab Field, the College World Series field, the stadium is the only worse venue than the box. Hot take. I mean, God. That's not how you get inside the Kuyons.
Also, by the way, P-Dub, I apologize. It's the Intimidator. I mean, is it not a billboard? It looks like a billboard. It's called the Intimidator, I suppose. So I apologize. Our friends at Mic'd Up will get me straight, which it was great to link up with Jared Mitchell. Part of the Mic'd Up crew was there. Our friend Mikey did not make it, but really good stuff. We ran into so many great people, man. T-Bob, Mincy.
Didn't see them.
We ran into so many great people that it's hard to even keep track of them all. And again, say
watching
thank
the game
you
with
to
the parents
everyone.
was super cool too.
Yeah,
how on edge they were, and how much more on edge they were than the players. It felt like, but
yeah, they were. They were, no doubt.
Highlight Mac, the Oklahoma State walk-off game to eliminate Georgia at Foley Field was the craziest of the tournament. That was
a crazy game.
They got walked off on their own field by a home run.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That was absurd, but yeah, that might be the craziest thing of the postseason outside the College World Series for sure.
Yeah. And I'll say this too, guys, going back, because Harrison, you were in these. Shout out to those that tuned in and watched the live stream watch-alongs we did starting in the postseason. I appreciate that. The Friday night spikes on steroids. Those were
Alex said the best. People that love baseball show up.
They do. And it's I think that was the most rewarding part, was to see how many people love college baseball like we do. That was one of the most fun parts. I really think.
I'll let you answer this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a yearly trip. I mean, listen, it's
SEC Unfiltered.
Right now, I am currently in Florida at the beach. I'm so excited to not drink the remainder of this week or party and I loved my time, but I'm excited to relax. But I mean, yeah, dude, you got to go. Like, I can't imagine not going to the College World Series. Like, maybe I don't know, maybe there will come a year where I'm like, I'm kind of over it, but I'm not anywhere close to that. So, like, I'll tell you this, everybody out there, will I travel at the rate that I travel for the rest of my life? Obviously not. I'm not going to be on the road 15 straight weekends in the fall. I'm not going to, I just won't go to as much stuff, but I'll never just stay home for the entire calendar year. Like, I think the College World Series will forever be a go-to event for me. I'm not saying there'll probably come a point in life where something will come up where maybe I can't go for the whole time or God forbid at all. But Harrison, I can't imagine not going to the College World Series. I really can't. I don't know.
It's hard to believe.
It's not even close to being old. Because, dude, we've had 2 years and they've been so different. So I don't doubt next year isn't
in great ways different.
In great ways. I'm just saying, next year will probably be its own random different. They're all different. All of them are different. So
the only thing, Chris, that'll be different is if the SEC doesn't win it.
That'll never happen. We won't see. Yeah, the year the SEC doesn't win it, I ain't going back. I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done with that year. I'm done with that.
Oh my gosh. I mean, shout out to Alex too. Thank y'all. Enjoyed y'all.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.
He does a lot of great college baseball coverage too.
Yeah, appreciate you, Alex. Thank you. Like I said, everybody in the chat, everybody who tuned in for even just a second this season, we can't say thank you enough, especially those that comment. I know there's also a lot of people that listen, that tune in, that don't comment. Thank you to you all as well. You're
Absolutely.
A silent observer, but an observer not just the same, and we appreciate you just the same.
Yeah,
I was giving you the Kuyon card. She giving you the Kuyon card?
Sounds like it. Appreciate it. Saying because D3 and Tyga said, "How did you party with this guy Harrison?" LOL. She said he embraced Louisiana people in our culture like no other. He can party with the Kuyons any day. I appreciate that, Joy. Thank you. You. That means a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, Joy. We appreciate it.
That's some of the best hospitality I've ever had of any school. I'm gonna say that's the best hospitality I've experienced of any school ever.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good place, Harrison, to close it. Thank you to Dat Bingle Bus, who essentially served as our second home in Omaha throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah.
Shout out to Doc.
Shout out to Doc.
Shout out to Gary. Shout out to Denise, Megan. Oh God, names are escaping me. Jason.
Yep.
Shout
Jason,
out
his wife,
to
Kim.
Yeah, Kim. Dude, everybody.
Hospitality
Man.
was
Hey, shout out to Will
second to none.
Helmers. The ride on the
Yeah.
Jeep was incredible.
Even
I mean,
though they
all
made
the
it to automatic, horrible decision.
crazy, but shout out to all those folks. Dat Bingle Bus. Shout out to Joy, who exponentially improved our time in Omaha had she not been there. My guy Blake Ruffino showing up into the tournament
about
for the
tackling
finals.
me as LSU wins the championship and then tackling two people.
Yeah, shout out to them. I mean, like I said, all the parents, players, coaches. Yeah, Dat Bingle Bus, though, specifically. And let's make sure Dat Bingle Bus is a place to tailgate this fall. Apparently, Harrison, there's a situation with their tailgating spot. LSU, get that shit fixed. Get that shit fixed.
Yeah, I'm not worried, though. I mean, as
Doc will get it squared away. Doc's going to get that squared away.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I mean, as many connections as they have, let alone the hospitality they provide to the LSU fans, I'm not worried. They might even get an upgrade. We'll see.
Yeah, they better. Don't mess with Doc.
I'm going to end it with this.
Don't mess with Harrison's dad, all right?
Don't mess with that man.
A lot of inside jokes from Omaha. A lot of inside jokes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. It'll be fun for sure. But I'm going to end it with Chris with this, at least before you wrap everything up. I think this is the best way to maybe end it. Is a quote from the movie Field of Dreams. This field, this game, it's part of our pastime, right? It reminds us of all that is once was good and could be again.
That hits. It really hits.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
It's impossible. Yeah, guys, again, we appreciate you. Like I said, this is not me saying that there won't be, who knows, potentially Harrison and I come together for a show for some reason, whether there's breaking news or there's something we want to discuss. But the windup for the 2025 college baseball season, the college baseball season for 2025 is officially in the books. What a year it was. Once again, congratulations to the LSU Tigers, national championship number 8 in program history. And congratulations to all of you all. For college baseball fans, we are the real winners this season. What an incredible year it was. Thank you all so much. Harrison, thank you once again. And we appreciate you all tuning in and giving us the opportunity to come to you every single week, every single day, and do what we love, which is talk college baseball. So, again, guys, as always, for one last time, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, check us out via podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, you can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. And by the way, Harrison, one quick bonus, by popular demand, secunfiltered.store. secunfiltered.store. I will be dropping the promos later today, but I've had a lot of LSU folks ask, a lot of others ask. We've got team-specific colorways of
We've had players ask.
We've had players ask as well from different teams. If you go there right now, we've got team-specific colorways of these hats. You can rep your school and rep SEC Unfiltered. We've also got our other main logo, SEC Unfiltered brand and stuff. But these hats are officially available now, sorted by team. Go check them out, right side up and the upside down. If you want to be trendy like yours truly, you can do that. But whatever you want to do, they're all available. secunfiltered.store is how you get there. secunfiltered.store. Click our link in bio. You'll see the store link there as well. So I wanted to make y'all aware. A lot of LSU folks have been asking, and we appreciate each and every single one of you all for repping and rocking with us. So, Harrison, appreciate you, my friend. Appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, make sure you follow along. And thank you all for the memories, the 2025 season. He's Harrison Fant. I'm Chris Phillips. This is the Windup, SEC Unfiltered's bi-weekly college baseball show, the best college baseball show on the internet. Saying goodbye for one final time in the 2025 season. Cheers.